Welcome back to CSM TV. We're back in the shop today, and like the title says, we're not actually working on any cars. Not the Colt, not the Galant. Got some shop upgrades to do that are much needed. This place is turning into a wreck. There's crap piled up everywhere that needs to get taken care of. I mean, there is just, this toolbox isn't, not a toolbox, it's holding bunch of different parts for the Galant mainly, so we need to get this cleaned, organized, get stuff put away in totes, stuff like that. This, I don't even know what's going on here. There's just crap piled up on the steps that need to get taken care of. The workbench is a complete wreck and just no place to put anything because there's storage. We'll take you upstairs. It's not great. It needs to be organized. Need more storage space, and stuff keeps piling up on stuff, and I don't like it. Too much clutter going on. We do have some workbench upgrades we're going to do that hopefully, actually I'm pretty excited about that one, so that's going to be a pretty cool project to do. Kind of excited, but I think we're going to have to tackle some of the stuff upstairs first. I'll take you up there and get a before of that. It's not looking great. All right, and the loft area is looking rough, looking real bad. So pretty much all parts storage over here that has been getting overran, and anytime you have to get something, you got to kind of ransack the place, and stuff doesn't get put away, or you know, just hangs out on top of bins because there's no place to put it. Boxes of crap. Need more storage. Bunch of bumpers piled on top of. There is a love seat back there we need to get rid of, and then there's a few other things. Broken Red Bull fridge. It's doing nothing. This is a whole Kydex area where I used to make. I can't say that word on YouTube. They were old pew holsters I used to make. I don't do that anymore, so don't ask. I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to end up selling all the Kydex stuff, getting rid of it because I don't really do it. I haven't done it in forever. A bunch of other stuff we need to get rid of. I think it's a little Matt's interior. Probably the poker table. I don't know, there's a lot of parts I got to go through, so we need to get through some of this stuff, try to get organized, and then hopefully we can start cleaning up the downstairs and get that organized and get everything working well. So we need to just get to it. We got a little update. It looks bad behind me, trust me. Got this corner pretty much cleaned up. It was a disaster. It had all my Kydex stuff that makes a giant mess, so I had to clean everything up. Got rid of all that stuff, got rid of a bunch of other stuff that was stuffed in this corner on this shelf right here, which got more storage with some other crap that probably needs to go somewhere else. So with this corner, I think what I want to do is we're going to try to make like a paint booth area. So in here, so we can paint like some smaller parts, stuff like that. Nothing large, just to kind of keep the mess in here, since it's kind of a pain in the ass to do it outside, because there's always our cars out there and we don't get overspray on those, and you know, overspray on parts in here kind of sucks too. So like, try to keep the mess contained. And maybe over here with the wall section, I want to make a bumper holder, put all these bumpers and whatnot that we have hanging out that I'm not gonna get rid of, that need to probably go on a car eventually. Maybe in a later video, but for now we're going to store that stuff kind of over on this wall. Hopefully get rid of some of this stuff that's on the ground and get rid of this love seat over here. That really needs to go. All it's doing is holding car parts and it's in the way. So yeah, want to build the paint booth. Like I said, first thing we want to do, I want to use this table maybe for painting, at least in the little booth area, but it's a little big for what I want to do. So I want to cut it down to about maybe half size or so. And then this long table is also a little in the way of where I want to build it. and I'm going to cut that down as well and leave that for storage kind of on that end. So let's go ahead and get into making those, and then we can get some wood for the booth and get on that. So I did end up filming me doing both of these tables, but it's really the same process. I'm going to save your eye holes and your time, not have to show it twice. It's really, I used the same process, which ended up working out great. It made it quick and easy to get this thing done, so no need to see it twice. That should work. Alright, got this love seat cleared. All the parts are just scattered everywhere, all the spare parts and whatnot we have. And we just got to get rid of this couch. I just need to get a hand to get it down the steps. And hopefully it doesn't suck too bad. Hold on. I have a better idea.
That's too much work.
Yeah, like that. There we go. Now we just got it broken down so we can carry it easier. Definitely worth all the effort. Jesus. Everything cleared out upstairs, we can finally get to building our paint booth, and we have all the wood we need here. At least I hope. Planned it in my head, so we'll see how that goes. And we went with 2x4s on this. I wanted to go like smaller, like a 2x3 or something like that, make it a little lighter, a little easier to move. But the way I want to build it out with the bumper holder I'm going, 2x4s just made more sense. And you can't get really long 2x3s or whatever they were. So that's all right. We're going to build it out with 2x4s. And unfortunately, we don't have 8 feet up there. So all of our wall studs, which are going to be all of these guys, do have to be trimmed out. So I'm going to have to cut all of those down, just about a foot out of them. And then the floor plates and top plates are going to have to be all cut out, all that stuff. So yeah, hopefully we can get this done. We're going to build everything actually down here where we have space to build, and there's like not really much space. So we're going to build the walls down here and then take them upstairs. And hopefully we can get them up there. The only one I'm worried about is a 10-foot long one. That one's gonna suck, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's fine. It'll be fine. I need to get to cutting, so let's get to it. I'm trying something a little different on this build. Usually I just slam some screws into these boards and not pre-drill anything, but years of just splitting boards and making it work and kind of look like crap, I've decided it's time to actually pre-drill some holes before I screw these boards in. So we're going to go with that, and hopefully they stay together and don't split a bunch of boards this time. Here's our 10-foot wall that we got going on. This is going to be all paint booth. This is going to be our little extra for hanging bumpers. Kind of have it laid out a little bit, and it's pretty close. Probably should have gone with 2x4 by 12. Jesus, talking's hard. But to make up a little extra room, we went on the outside of the of the floor and top plate to give us just a little extra to hopefully help get us some space. But I think this will work. And if it doesn't, it's gonna suck real bad to fix. But I'm gonna go with this after contemplating for way too long. I'm gonna throw this together, actually measure everything out, get these two studs attached, and then we can start working on the other walls, which I won't drag you through. They're just like the ones we just did. And hopefully we can get this thing assembled soon. 10-foot wall section is sort of done. And I got started on this wall section, our next one, and realized I forgot a stud over here on this guy. It needs to be in there. But before I pulled it back down, I thought I would try to mount this plastic on this wall and see if they actually need a stud in the center. If it doesn't need it, because it's just really just holding the plastic on there, and I won't put it on, and we'll have some extra wood for another project or something. I'm not sure. So we're gonna staple this on, see how secure it feels. If it sucks, then we'll put both supports in the center on both of these pieces, and if it's good, then all good. Let's get to it. Oh, there it is. I think it'll work. I mean, it is a little floppy, but really it's just a contained mess. I don't think it needs the extra support, so we'll probably just go with that. Save some materials, and then maybe we'll build something else. I'm not real sure. I ended up having to put a lot more staples in this thing than what I just showed, because it was pulling up, because I was trying to pull it as tight as I could, and it was kind of pulling out up there, if you can see. But I think this will work. I think it'll work. I think it'll be fine. We'll see. If not, then I can fix it and toenail some boards in or something. But we ended up using this 3M plastic, or 3 mil plastic, and I can't read, and I don't have enough, which is fine, because I'm not gonna be able to get too much more done. I'm gonna get all the walls done. This wall has to go up the stairs next, and I'm gonna need some help with that, because that thing is big. But in the meantime, I got a little side quest I got to go on real quick with the trailer, and I'm not gonna go too in depth, but I'll show you. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. All right, here's a quick before the trailer. Hopefully it picks it up on camera. Needs a little work. Needs a little bit of work. I got everything scuffed and clean. Just hit it real quick with a little DA sander real quick, just to knock anything off. Have the tool, might as well use it. And we're gonna put on some Rust-Oleum gloss black, which I've used before. Works really good. You just gotta coat it every few years, and it's been a while for this one. So hopefully knock this out pretty quick, because it's hot, and bring you back in once it's done, see how she looks. And this is the after. Paint looks really good. I did use a mop on the deck to seal it, and left a bunch of fuzz all over everything. So hopefully that comes off with some rain, but paint turned out good, and ready for hopefully a few more years of service. Now we can get back to stuff at the unit. We have both of our wall sections up and plasticked. So I'm gonna try to set these two pieces up first, and then bring up the other two, which are gonna be this wall and this wall going over here. Hopefully we can get them set and squared up enough. It doesn't need to be perfect. So we're gonna try to set these. Hopefully I can do them by myself. We'll see. And see how it goes. So let's get to it. All right, there it is, all sort of finished. We got the main structure up, all the plastic on except for the door, which I have something coming for that hopefully should work pretty good. And I thought I didn't have enough plastic. I had just enough. Had to patch it down there, and then had enough to finish up the floor. So cut it real tight, used every piece, but made it work. The top up there that's sagging down, I still got to get in here and get that, but I clear some space first. So the next thing we're going to do is build the bumper rack over here. We got to move some things around and figure out heights and whatnot and get to that. So let's go ahead and get into that. No. That's why you don't use Phillips head. But that's all I had left. And I didn't want to go buy screws. Now I'm screwed. Ah, fuck. Got everything to finish up the paint booth. We got a light, some hooks, and our door that we're going to be using, and hopefully it fits. Probably should double check that. So I think we're going to start with the light so we can actually see something, and then move on to everything else. Holy shit. This should work. Staple in this bitch. Maybe not. Our paint booth is done. Well, at least done for now. We're going to give it a try without any ventilation. I know there isn't any in here. We'll see how it goes. We're just planning on doing spray paint in here, so I don't know how much it's needed. It probably will be. We're going to try it without. And if it does suck, we've got an idea. We'd probably use Bach fans and furnace filters or paint booth filters, something like that. So we really just need to try it out. So we are going to do that right now. Got this cutout I got from my buddy Sean over at AO Customs, and it needs paint. And I got paint actually to touch up the gallant, which I ended up not using. So it'll be the same color as my gallant. Kind of cool. So we're going to test it out, see if we need to put in some sort of ventilation in here, and get to hang up this cool piece that Sean has made. And he has more of these. If you want one, go to AO Customs, check him out on Facebook. It's Sean Warning, They're really cool. And if you don't have one, you should probably get one. Anyways, let's get to painting this thing. Quick final thoughts before we move on to something else on the paint booth. I think I'm going to move the light. I don't like it right above where you're working. It's really hard to see. So I think I might move it forward and grab another one and put 2 lights in there. Make it a little brighter. Make it a little bit, hopefully a little bit better to see. Right above your work is not great at all. So might do that, and then might do some ventilation. It wasn't too bad with a mask on, but it'd be nice to pull all those fumes out there so they're not kind of milling around in there. So might do that. If we do that, I'll update you guys, but we need to go downstairs and start working on that stuff. I'm not gonna hold you guys up here while I organize all this crap. That'd be not fun to watch, and I'm not looking forward to it. So move on to some more fun things. Moving on to the downstairs, we got a bunch of stuff we got to do down here as well. We got this area, which is a total wreck. Mainly just gallant parts that have been piling up for videos I want to do a little later. We got some more parts that are coming, so look for that video. It might be a little while. I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, moving on, Colt parts that can probably hold off and go upstairs. And these jack stands need a solution. Well, have a solution so they're not piled up on top of and in front of the engine hoist, because you got to get to the engine hoist, you got to unpile everything, and it's a pain in the ass. And got a solution for those. Hopefully that'll work well for us. And little Matt's been working on organizing all his parts, because he had a nightmare just like I have. So he's been working on that, getting all that stuff organized, and hopefully we'll have more storage upstairs. He can take some of that stuff upstairs as well. Next thing will be the workbench. I'm trying to get it organized because I need to get everything off here. I do want to get it painted up and make it looking good, and then do some other things to it. But before we get to any of that, I want to get these signs hung up. And like I said, when I was painting the gallant, they are from AO Customs. My buddy Sean makes them, and really good dude. And the gallant one actually turned out really good. It's looks like a little dark from the factory paint, unfortunately, but still looks pretty good. I want to get those both hung up. He also did his Colt one as well, which actually is like a kind of a replica of my car that I just stuck some vinyl on. It's a vinyl a little thick for the blue stripe, but yeah, that's all right, whatever. But anyways, I'll give a link to the description to his website. He's got a bunch of different cutouts. Go check him out. Go support him. He does really good work. So go check him out. We'll go ahead and get those hung up, and then we'll get started on some of the other not so fun stuff. Doesn't look too bad. It'd be better if this little gap between all the boards wasn't here. Maybe it wasn't a wood background, maybe like a white. But yeah, it's the best spot we got for it now. I'm not gonna change it now. We got other things to do, and we need to go ahead and get to that. Everything cleaned up and out of the way, we can get these jack stands hung up. And I was gonna make some brackets like this that I saw on the internet, but I found them on Amazon. It was, I think, $12 or $13 for 8 of them, and that's a lot cheaper and faster than what I could make them for. So might as well use them. My idea is to hang them up back here off this shelf, and hopefully you can access them pretty easy. They'll be out of the way, and it's kind of dead space back here. and hopefully it works out good. We'll see how it works. Let's get to it. Now you stop filming. That is much better. Got everything off the ground and up out of the way. Very, very excited for that. And these guys hang them up, but they don't have the same sort of slot that these have to hang them on, so they could just hang out there. The other big ones ended up going up here because I don't really use them too often on anything because they're just giant. Usually for the trailer if there's a car on there, or if we get something bigger in there. So they can live up there out of the way, and we can move on to some other things. The next thing on the list is the workbench. Want to get this thing painted up, looking nice, and then make a few changes to it. The backsplash that I have here, the mixed wood, I definitely want to change that out. I'm going to put in some pegboard when we do that, but when I was doing that, I can't stand this dark brown color and I've been wanting to paint this workbench for a while. So what we're going to do is try to match the toolbox a little bit. We're going to go with a black and blue kind of theme. So we got some black, got some white primer because we're going to need it for the wood. And then we got some blue for all the shelves, and I think I'm going to do the pegboard in blue. I think so. Might be too much, but that's all right. I'm going to do it. And then the top, once we get everything painted, we're actually going to do a sticker collage with epoxy on top. And I saw this on another YouTube channel on Taylor Ray's and thought it was really cool. And that was kind of inspiration for wanting to redo this. So need to get this thing unloaded and kind of cleaned up, and we can get to painting. I've always considered myself more of a function over form type of person. But really, I guess that has changed over the years of working on the Colt, where I kind of want a good mix of both. Sometimes function goes over form, sometimes form goes over function, but I like a good mix. I want everything to look good. And with shop equipment, it's definitely been a function over form type deal. I mean, I never considered painting anything or making anything look nice. Just kind of slap it together and put it to use, basically. But I'm at the point where I do want a little bit of form to go with it and to try to make things look a little bit nicer at least. Let's get to painting. That blue. Yeah, don't fucking touch it. Don't even look. Okay, I've tried not to look at it just so I can get it pretty much finished, I guess you'd say. There's still some things we gotta do. But I try not to look at it just so I could, my reaction of what it looks like once it's all assembled. And man, I thought it was gonna be too much. Oh man, I got a gap. Ooh. Ooh. Not sure if there's anything I can do about it. I didn't fasten the bottom yet just because with the epoxy stuff that we got going on top, we're gonna have to back tape it on here. So we're gonna let that hang for a second. I might try to adjust those so they fit a little better, look a little better, but damn. Oh, there's gonna be too much blue. I don't think so. Once I get the top covered, I think it'll be good. We'll see. That is, I fucking dig it. That looks so much better. And it matches the toolbox pretty well. That's a lot of blue. All right, on to the next thing. And we are on to the fun part of this project, to sticker up the top of it. And if you're like me, you have a ton of stickers that are just sitting around doing absolutely nothing. So this is perfect. I've been wanting to find something to do with all the stickers I have accumulated over the years. And I got them down to a small bin because I had a million duplicates and a bunch of other stuff I don't want to use. I mean, I still have, it's ridiculous. Just too many. But I got them narrowed down to the ones I want to use, and hopefully I have enough. I'm sure I'll have plenty. So got them narrowed down. We're gonna go ahead and try to lay them out. I have an idea of how I want to lay it out. That'll be kind of a clean look instead of like all over the place. But we'll see if that works out. I'm gonna start laying these out and see how it goes. Okay, I think I finally got a layout that I like going on. I have been picking at this thing way too much. I'm being way too picky. I try not to duplicate anything. I mean, I got a couple same brand, just different style, but for what we got, I think we're pretty good. I think it's gonna look good. So we just need to stick everything down. And then I'm probably going to lay down some magazines or something to like put some pressure on them for a while so they don't peel up. I had one of the stickers peel up on a test piece I did, and I definitely don't want that. So yeah, I guess we'll just start peeling these up and sticking them, and hopefully it turns out as good as it sort of looks here. Right, we're ready for epoxy. Got everything prepped, ready to go, cleaned, all of that. And actually, you guys haven't seen the final layout. So some changes did happen. Some gaps opened up once you start laying down stickers. And you try to play as best you can, but it's kind of weird. But some gaps opened up, so I started rearranging things just a little bit and tweaked it to kind of fill everything out. I think it turned out awesome. We do have, I know it's hard to see, there's some captive tape all around the border because I don't want anything to drip off. And hopefully with this masking tape, it'll be reinforced and not come undone. Hopefully. Got a backup plan if that does. So, but anyways, on the epoxy, we got this Promise epoxy. Same stuff that Taylor Ray used in his video, and he seemed to have really good results. So I just did the same thing because it's easy. Then we got to mix up and do a seal coat. Not exactly sure how much I need because all the things I see online, it's a little different. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna mix up what I think we need, or yeah, I'm not real sure. So we'll need a little less than our flood coat. So we're gonna do a seal coat, seal everything in, and then we come back in a few hours and do a flood coat, a thicker one. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully all good. So I'm gonna get to mixing some of this stuff up. Had the table curing for about 4.5, 5 hours at this point. It's got to do that for the first layer, and we're ready to do our flood coat. We did get a little less than ideal, because that stuff should have been covered a little better. So a little bit more, I think, probably would have been the ideal situation. Hopefully it's not that big a deal once we get the flood coat on. She did about 2 quarts, a little less than 2 quarts on this table, and I think it's 72 by 27 for reference. There's a chart that they have online. You can punch all these numbers in. It doesn't tell you exactly though, because it tells me for a gallon. So I don't know if that's a gallon with a seal coat and a flood coat. That's what it seems like, because I'm gonna just double it, and that's under a gallon. That would be 4 quarts basically for the flood coat that we're about to do. So I don't think it needs a whole gallon on top of it at once. So just what I've seem to have learned after doing it once. So real good advice. So a little bit of the same thing. We got to put some in some cups, mix it up, pour it, do all that same stuff. So let's get to it. Not gonna lie, I was a little nervous going into this, trying to do something new, and the potential for just totally ruin this whole piece would, I don't know, it would be not the worst thing ever, but not the best thing. But it's actually really easy to mess with this stuff, and this is the first time I've ever done this. So basically you just got to dump everything out, and then I went back with a foam brush to kind of spread everything out to try to get an even coat. It is self-leveling, so it would eventually get there, but just spreading it out with that foam brush makes it a little bit quicker. And then once that's all basically settled, for the first, I think, hour or so of drying, I went back with a heat gun just to pop all the bubbles that were popping up in the epoxy. So you definitely don't want to skip that step. You want to get rid of all the bubbles you can. And one of the hard parts was actually on the sides where the tape was. You can't get those bubbles out, so that's just something we'll have to sand out later. Table turned out awesome. It looks really good. Unfortunately, we do have to wait a few days for it to fully cure before we can finish it up. So while we're waiting on that, we are going to build a shelf for some of the totes that are upstairs. Finally got everything organized and in the totes and where everything needs to go. So instead of stacking everything, all the totes on top of each other, and having to go up there and dig out the totes and try to find what I wanted to build a shelf for everything to sit on. So I did actually draw up some plans, which I seem to never do. For some reason, I just leave it all in my head. But I want to be as efficient as possible with my wood, because I had a few extra 2x4s and had a bunch of wood hanging around here that I wanted to use up. So we do have some plans going for it, and it's basically just going to be about 6 foot tall and 3 shelves. So hopefully we should be able to get everything on there. It should be pretty easy project. Nice, quick, and easy. So let's go ahead and get to work. There, we good? You good, man? Man, you took a little spill. You guys all right? Man, you were out for a while. You missed me build the entire shelf. It's done. Man, you sure you're good? Okay. Well, now that it's done, we just got to get it back upstairs. I think you'll be okay to help me carry that. room for activities. Dude, aerobics, fucking karate, dude. Man, it'd be sick to have a couch up here, take a little fucking nap. Alright, we got everything labeled and everything put where I kind of wanted it. It's worked out a little bit differently than I thought in my head, but actually worked out a little bit better than what I was thinking. Got some room for these extra small bins over here, so you can kind of run a combination of whatever you want. So worked out really well, and we even have a little room to grow on there, which is good because you know you're going to acquire more shit if you're like me. It's going to happen. So a little extra space, always good. So with that done, can go back downstairs and get back on the workbench. Okay, back downstairs, we are ready to get back on the table, and it turned out awesome. I know it's probably going to be really hard to get on camera, but it looks really good. There's one little spot where a bug flew into the epoxy. You can see right in here, and it wouldn't have been a big deal because I actually picked out a few hairs and stuff that I saw. Wasn't a big deal. I think I grabbed one of the brushes when I picked the bug out of there, and tried to brush more on there, and that's where I made the mistake. So I had to scrape all this epoxy off that wasn't drying, and then use some denatured alcohol to clean up the mess. So we could probably sand this out. I mean, like on camera, I don't know if you can see that. We probably sand it out, sand it smooth, so I may try that. I'm not real sure if I'll make it worse, so I'm kind of a little nervous about it, but we do have to sand the edges. Did peel this back a little bit so you guys can see, maybe. But there is, with the tape being there, a little bit of an edge. It's kind of sharp. So we do want to take that down. So we need to do that. Get all this tape peeled off and see what we're working with. Kind of see the edges where the epoxy butted up with the tape, which I knew that was going to happen. Knew we'd going to have to end up sanding it. So, you know, is what it is. I don't know. I don't think I'll do the back. I might just leave that just because we'll be working back there. So I'm going to do that. We got a palm sander we're going to start with, and then 320, and then work through the grits. I think I got some 600. Should be actually 400, 600, 800, and then 1,000. Then a little polisher I might try. So let's get to it. We've been through all the sanding grits all the way up to 1,000. Looks pretty decent. There is some like holes where bubbles are at, but it's starting to get close, so I don't want to go down any further. I don't know if you can, it's hard to see. So a little dull finish, and there's even, this is where it gets real thin up here, so I kind of broke through a little bit. It happens, it's really thin. So we're gonna now try to polish it, and I'm not a big polish guy. I don't like polishing things and taking the time to do all that, but I do have is one of these bits that goes on a drill for the headlight restorer, and I got some Meguiar's compound. So we're gonna give that a go, see if we can polish it up, see if we can get it close to that clear look that the rest of the table has. Let's try it out. That's a lot. There's the edges. They're all done. Sure, it could be a little better. There's some bubbles going on in the tape. Let's see if you can kind of see. It's so hard to get on camera. There you can kind of see how thick it was. But right here where it got kind of thin with the epoxy, kind of broke through. Showed you guys that, but it's a workbench. It's gonna get beat up. The surprising part is over here, actually. I wish I would have got on camera how bad, yeah, you can kind of see how bad the board was cut and ripped, but now it's epoxy made it nice and smooth and you can barely tell it's there. Being that it's so thick on this edge, it got a nice clean round edge over here, which surprised me. The worst edge on the wood got the best. It did get a little bit thin over here, but it's fine. And we even went at it with our little spot. You can still, oh yeah, it's really, it doesn't look that bad on camera, I promise. Or looks worse on camera than in person. It kind of blends in a little bit better. But about as good as I want to get it. Like I said, it's a workbench. It's going to get beat up, but hopefully it stays a little bit, because this thing looks freaking awesome. So now we just got to load it full of crap that we use and car parts and whatever else we stick on here. So I need to get to that. Got the workbench all set up and ready to go, ready to put in some work finally. So I think with this setup, I think this is what we're going with. We have all the consumables basically up there. I might rearrange it and put some tools up there to grab, like the impacts and whatnot, but I'm not sure yet. I haven't messed with it yet. Been dealing with a lot of other things, but we have one more thing I want to show you, so we'll go upstairs real quick and show you that. And for the paint booth, I added a power strip so I can easily turn the lights on and off, and added a light in the back, moved this one forward, which made it a lot better to paint in. So that was a good upgrade. And if anybody has any ideas for the ventilation, put them in the comments, because I'm not real sure what I want to do yet. I have an idea. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But before I let you guys go, I do have some before and after shots of the shop, which I love seeing those, especially when there's like a big change. It's always cool to go back and look back on it. So I'll go ahead and throw those clips in now. And that's going to do it for this one. If you stuck around, big thanks. I know it's a long video, not something I'm used to doing. I would have done could have done a couple shorter videos, but really just want to throw everything in one big video just to get it all in one spot. If you like that, let me know. If you didn't like that and want shorter videos, let me know in the comments as well. I know it did take a while, which you guys didn't see, but it's been a while just between other projects and going to race, dealing with the Colt. It just kind of got it in where I could, where it fit, and then just took a little while to get everything done. Like I said, if you like that, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know too. But hopefully we will see you on the next one.